Well, back in the kitchen, not like women are meant to be.
GetLoveDreamingBeach.com.
Big bowl of broccoli I'm gonna make, but I gotta clean it off.
Just talking about the broccoli. I'm cleaning to cook.
Make one last video. One last now. Rinse this for a minute.
Auto-generated captions might have some motherfucking typos.
Maybe it's an old-fashioned notion. Maybe it's something that people don't care enough about anymore. I've always personally cared a lot about the separation between church and state, the freedom to practice the religion of your choice or not practice religion if you're not religious, the freedom to be spiritual, the freedom to be Buddhist, the freedom to meditate, the freedom to go to church or to synagogue or to mosque or none of the above. The freedom to raise your children the way you see fit as long as you're not harming them. The freedom to live your life the way you choose as long as you're not harming. And then that's when you get into the self-righteousness of, well, I do believe you're harming. I believe you're harming someone that's defenseless. Well, honey, yeah, they're defenseless because they're literally cells growing inside of somebody else. And you don't have rights to that unborn being. Another point that I wanted to make that was super important that I didn't make in parts 1, 2, or 3 of I would have an abortion is the fact that, well, let me look it up. So it says about 10 to 20% of known pregnancies end in miscarriage, but the actual number is likely higher because many miscarriages happen before a person realizes they're pregnant. I was already in my 9th week before I even realized. Most miscarriages occur during the first 7 weeks of pregnancy, and 80% happen within the first 3 months. And there's different risk factors and causes, and the fact of the matter is that there's no guarantee that just because someone is pregnant, that pregnancy is going to result in a full-term, viable human being who is healthy and able to survive. And it's not an absolute. Just because somebody becomes pregnant does not automatically guarantee that that is going to result in a living, breathing human being who can function. And the risks and the physical, actual labor, the physical labor involved in growing a human being, I've done it twice now. I've had 2 full-term pregnancies, 2 home births with no medication by choice, and they were wonderful, beautiful experiences and quite terrifying as well. I had a home birth, I had midwives. The second time I had a doula. I would never do it again without a doula. If I had had a doula the first time, it would have made a world of difference. But we are built to do this. The whole way that pregnancy and childbirth is framed, and fertility, and the right to your body, the right to bodily autonomy, the right to be a sovereign nation unto yourself with bodily autonomy, as long as you're not going out and harming others. And again, someone can say, well, you're harming others if you have an abortion, but you are not entitled to determine that that other is something that you have control over. It's not yours. It's none of your business. You have no business being all up in somebody's hoo-ha and in their life. And you talk about you care about life. You care about life. But you don't care at all about the life of the person who's carrying this potential unborn, maybe born baby. The life of that being, human being, is so much more important than some cells, some fertilized cells that are theirs to determine what they want to do with. And later on, as the pregnancy progresses, if you got to the point in a pregnancy where that baby could most likely survive with medical care outside of the woman's body, again, it's, there's so many variables that there's no blanket answer. There's no absolute. There's no, well, you know what? I think, my opinion, my religion, my self-righteousness, my scientific thoughts. Who fucking gives a crap? If it's not you, it's not your body, it's not your family, it's none of your business. Nunya. That's something my brother taught me many years ago. Nunya. It's nunya. Nunya? Yeah, nunya fucking business. So, yeah, I just wanted to add these thoughts to the whole conversation about, again, it all comes down to controlling other people, controlling groups of people, what they can do, what they can't do, how they can live, what they're allowed to do with their own bodies, how they're allowed to react to their own choices or the things that happen to them, and how they want to navigate that, and what they're going to do every day after that. If somebody wants to go through an entire pregnancy, go through labor, give birth to a human being, and then give that baby up for adoption, that's their choice to make. Do you have any idea what's involved with that? Even if you do, that doesn't give you the right to decide that you know what's best for someone else. It's appalling, it's disgusting, and it's just, and again, it's like with trans rights. You want to decide what other people can do with their bodies? You want to dictate how somebody can go take a piss or a shit because you want to know what's going on down there in their private area? It's called privates for a reason. You can go look on Amazon for the book that I wrote and self-published called What If Privates Were Private? What if privates were private? Shouldn't your genitals be private? Why is it anybody's business to know what's going on down there in your private area, underneath your clothes, where it's nobody's business but yours, and your partner, if you choose to have one, and your doctor that you choose, if that's what you want, People are sick. Some people are sick. Some people are so screwy that they don't know how to live and be happy without pushing down, shoving in, controlling other people. And it's sad and it's pathetic, and it's such a closed-minded, small world, small brain, pea brain way to think. It's such a ass backwards way to be. And I just really hope and pray that there's enough people who have the ability to do something about this, to make sure that this is just a nightmare that we're going to wake up from in another week or two. But before January, I'll be praying to my Buddhist gods and to my spiritual guides, my dad and my Tati and the grandmas and the coalition of spiritual guides who can help bring me and everybody else to the place where we're safe, where we can actually pursue happiness and be free from harm, and SA and DV and all that, and see you. was already in my 9th week before I even realized it because of my fertility issues, and I wouldn't have my first ultrasound until I was 11 weeks pregnant. For many women, that's already past the abortion ban. So I was 3 months past the ban in many places before I even knew. The way these people want to regulate and make laws on our bodies makes it clear they don't know anything except sadistic control.
GetLoveDreamingPeach.com.
Naifubu equals. No. You're fucking business.
GetLoveDreamingPeach.com.